Welcome to today's tutorial. Today we're going to be trying to create an image similar to the one on screen at the moment. Please remember you can download these start images in the description box below. So let's get straight into the video. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reset my Photoshop by going in Photoshop up to the window option and then going to workspace and then going to reset essentials. That way your Photoshop looks exactly the same as mine. This Learn panel on the right appears. It's quite annoying, so I'm going to use these arrows to get them out the way. The next thing I'm going to do is reset all my tools by going to the Move tool here and then right-click the Move tool and hit Reset All Tools and then click OK. Now your tools are going to be the exact same as mine. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete all my layers so I have the same start images as you. So here we have the start image, and let's get manipulating this image. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click the background layer and I'm going to go Command and J to duplicate the background layer. Now what I need to do is I need to remove the model from the background layer. There are many ways to do this, but the easiest way is to come up to Photoshop's very capable object selection tool. You just choose that and then you just draw around the model and you give Photoshop a moment to work out where the model is and where the background is. It's done a fairly good job. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to proceed by creating a layer mask by clicking that there. And now we have a layer mask appeared. One thing I want to do to prevent any confusion is click the eyeball on the background layer, and now we can see the effect of removing the model from the background. The next step is to create an artificial background. So to do that, come down to the background layer and hit plus, and this is going to be a colorful background, so I'm just going to call it my color layer. Now in this layer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a gradient. So what I need to do is come and select my colors. So at the moment my foreground color is black, so I'm going to click that and I'm going to choose, let's go for a fairly light orangey color like that. And my background color, I'm going to click that and I'm going to choose, let's go a sort of dark red color, around about that, and hit OK. Then I come to my gradient tool and I select my gradient tool. I make sure that it's on a radial gradient, which is this one here. And then I just click from the middle of the model all the way to the outside of my scene like that. And what it will do is it will paint from my foreground color to my background color. This looks really cool. I like it a lot. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to get a radial effect behind the model. Now the easiest way to do this is to put all of these layers into a group. So I'm going to go ahead and create a group, which is this, it looks like a folder icon, and this is called a group. Now inside that group, I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer. Now you'll see why it's important to keep this in a group in a moment. Now what I need to do is I need to start creating a fan around the outside of this model. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to my selection layer and I'm going to right click this and I'm going to choose my polygon lasso tool. Now this will allow me to create a triangle. So from the middle of the model, I'm just going to click and create quite a small triangle like this and double click it, and this will complete the triangle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a gradient within this triangle selection. So I'm going to change my color slightly. So this time I'm going to go for, let's go for a more sort of light green color as the foreground color, and the background color, let's go for a darker green color like that. So now we're going to go from a light to a dark green color. I'm going to come up to my gradient, again making sure this time that we're on the linear gradient tool, not the circular gradient, but the linear gradient tool. And I'm just going to click and drag all the way out on that layer. And what it's done is it's created this green layer here, which looks kind of quite cool. So I'm happy with that, so I'm going to hit Command and D to get rid of my selection and my marching ants around the edge. Now what I need is a way of duplicating this layer so it goes all the way around the outside. Now the easiest way to do this is to use the transform tools. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, making sure that I'm on my layer here, which has got my triangle on it, hit Command and T. And you may need to press the tick, this tick box here, and what will happen is you get this circle in the middle. You need to make sure that that is on. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that so that it is on the edge of my box here, and you'll see in a moment that is where we rotate our layer from. Now what I'm going to do is come outside of the box and you get these circular arrows, and I'm just going to move it to the side round like that. We are rotating around this middle point here. I'm happy with that change, so I'm going to apply it by hitting the tick here. Now the next step is to use a repeat function in Photoshop, which is using the transform controls. So to help demonstrate it, I've got a picture of a keyboard here, and we're going to need to hold down the Shift, the Alt or Option button, and the Command button. If we hold those three together and press T at the same time, this will allow us to repeat this pattern and create a new layer. Now, as I hold my Command, Option and Shift button and press T, you'll notice what it does is it repeats the pattern and it creates more layers going around the model like this. I'm just going to keep going all the way around like this until I think it looks about right, or more around about there. I'm very happy with that. Now, as you can see over on the right, we've created a lot more layers in our layer stack. That gets really confusing, and that's why we use the group. So now I can hide the contents of the group by hitting that arrow, and now you can see everything in the group has been, all these round things in the group has been contained. Now I just want to modify this a little bit. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Move tool, and I'm going to make sure that Auto Select, not Layer, but this time Group is selected. And then I'm going to go Command and T, and now I can modify that whole group of all of those images. And if you want to, you can increase the size of it. And if you want to do this proportionally, you just hold down your Alt or Option button. I'm holding down the Alt and the Option, and as I increase the size, it is increasing from the middle, and I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to let go there because I really like it at that point. Now I go ahead and press the Apply or press Enter, and that has saved my transform, and that looks fantastic. The final thing I want to do is I want to put a texture over the top just to give it a bit more feeding. So the next start image is this image from the sky. So Command and A to select all, Command and C to copy, click to go over to this image, Command and V to paste. Now I've pasted mine below the model. I want to make sure that this layer is all the way on the top. Now I just need to modify it so it occupies the whole page. So that's simply Command and T. I drag it all the way around holding Shift, and when we hold down Shift, it snaps exactly to the same size as the image. Now I'm just going to hold down the Alt button and increase the whole size of the image until it gets to the end. I really like that, so I'm going to hit the tick or press Enter to apply my transform. The next step is to get a blend mode, which I think looks really good. So as I go through these blend modes, I'm looking for one which is giving a lot of emotion in the image, and I really like this overlay one here, so I'm going to choose that. The final thing that I think we should do is we should give it some text to give the view of the image some understanding of what's going on. So try and think of a word which really sums up this image. I'm thinking freedom could be a good word in this instance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my text tool, and I'm going to hit T for text. I'm just going to click it in there, and now I need to choose the options of my text image. Right now the writing is very small, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write in, I'm going to choose, let's try 500. That's looking kind of good. I don't like the color. I think a white color would look really good, so you just pick this color box here. And I'm going to find a good, really chunky font. This one could work really well, or this one down here, Copper Standard, could work really well. I quite like that, so I'm going to click that. Obviously this is sample text, so we can move that into the right location, and I really like that, and I'm now ready to write my freedom in here. So in order to do this, you simply click in this T area, not on the layer over here, but in this T area, you just double click in there, and now I can edit the words. And as I said, freedom is the one that I like, and I'm just going to move it by hitting the V for Move tool, or the Move tool here, and then finally Command and T, and increase the size of my freedom text, and that looks really good. I'm just going to move it down a little bit. I'm very happy with that. I do hope you found this video useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Also, you can follow the playlist of all the other videos. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.